All right, welcome everyone to Go Mode Podcast. We are in Swiss round 3, Daaanty versus mm2nescartridge. How is everyone doing in chat today? My name is Cinaeth, and I have, being your commentator for today, I have a very special guest with me, Veetorp. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I'm very excited for Overworld Glitches. It's one of my most favorite mode. If you go to the website and click Veetorp's favorite, it's Overworld Glitches. So this is going to be good and exciting. And these two runners, I hear they're both 1-1 right now.
Yep, that's definitely it. So we're coming into our 1-1 rounds. We've already done a couple of rounds. We are going to be vodcasting another one coming up tomorrow, so that's also going to be interesting. It's a race that's already been done, but we don't know the results of it, or at least I don't.
I'm right there with you. I like to keep it fresh. Wait for the vodcast where we can all watch it together.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so both runners are ready, so we're going to get going here in just a few moments. So what do you guys think? Everyone in chat, what are your predictions? And I have just dropped the gate, so our runners are going to be going here in just a few moments.
We got a nice ride on Pendant Landmo. That'd be exciting.
Oof. Wishing bad things on the runners already.
I mean, though, that's not too bad. I mean, a lot of these places are a lot easier to get to. 2 Crystal GT climb.
Yikes. Yikes.
Wow. Okay, so maybe the chat is out to get blood.
Are you betting on either one of the runners to draw first blood?
No. Oh, we have a great start here though with a nice simple mushroom. Doesn't really do a whole lot for Overworld Glitches, but definitely something fun. And,
yeah,
I got a map check out of Daaanty where he found out, I think I saw 2 pendants and a 5-6 crystal, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be.
Yeah, in this mode, we don't necessarily care about the red crystals, but, you know, we'll see if they come into play later.
Well, you might have to if they don't get a mirror, correct?
Yeah, correct. So, if anyone's new to this and does not understand what we're actually talking about, so Link to the Past randomizer, you take 216 checks, throw them in a bag, mix them up, put them in random places, and that's randomizer. There is certain logic that you can put into that, so those items are progression for certain things. Like that glove we just picked up is going to allow us to pick up the white rocks, and if we get another glove, we can pick up the darker rocks.
Yeah, really, in Overworld Glitches, pretty much gets you one important location with the first glove, which I believe is the checkerboard cave. Everything else they should be able to kind of skirt around otherwise.
Right, and not to mention, Ice Palace is something that's kind of hard locked by that glove. So if Ice Palace ends up being a crystal, that glove will be important later.
Absolutely, and just to refresh my memory on this, are mirror wraps allowed in Overworld Glitches?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so there still is opportunity to get into Ice Palace without the Titan's Mine.
Correct.
But it is a rather... Oh, go ahead.
The glitch I was thinking of is the rock that is on top of Cold Stare that you can't get past without glove.
Well, right, but they already have a glove, so they're set for that.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
That is fair. An excellent call out. I do stand corrected.
But yeah, you're right. That so yeah, mirror wraps are completely allowed. Climbing up the mountain is completely allowed. The only things that are not allowed is tree warp, which is getting to Lumberjack early, or doing underworld glitches. So doing red bottle adventures, green bottle adventures, They're called checkerboard maps. Is another one that I've heard of that's not allowed. Daaanty taking an early death by the old man, getting hecked by dead rocks.
As they do. Oh, and it looks like MM2 getting close. Nope. He was able to knock that dead rock out of the way. Still died, but he saved the old man first.
Which is important because that death is costly, but it's not as costly as having to climb the mountain all over again for the old man.
That is true. Giving his life savings away of 5 rupees. What a nice guy.
Yeah, this is retirement fund. These runners should feel bad.
So it looks like Daanty's immediately... Oh, both of our runners are immediately going for Graveyard Ledge.
So, I've heard this opener called Graveyard Rush, where you go up to Death Mountain, you rescue the old man, and then you come right down to the graveyard. This is a super safe starting strategy because you get rupees, you get bombs, you get just about everything that you need to start off the seed.
I like it.
And we have our first route divergence here with... Oh, actually, nope. They're going to the same place. They're just doing it in 2 different ways.
Yeah, because of the way that they did the glitch before this, they offset the camera already, so dropping into any hole after that would throw them into the free money room.
Also known as the Chris Houlihan room. A bow at Link's house.
Which is going to be our hard requirement for Pod.
And also our hard requirement for Eastern, which is a red pendant.
I would almost get that free money on the island. And I think Daanty's going for it.
MM2 is also going for it. So this is a nice little play, because this is going to give them enough money to go and hit Zora and see what he's got for his tax collection.
Oh no, Daaanty says, I'm just gonna go do the hobo instead. Actually, that's both of them, never mind.
Wow, this is play for play right now on both runners. Rewarded with a magic powder. It's another fetch quest, but that magic powder is also safety.
That is true, it's the other half of the mushroom we got earlier.
Yeah, so they can turn in that mushroom and not have to worry about doing a trick that I don't know if it's actually allowed in this mode or not, called fake powder.
I'd have to look at the logic, but I'm pretty sure in minor glitches we consider that. So you might be required to do so. Although we might not, because you could get rid of your mushroom by accident. You know what? That's probably what we'll do.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you a developer of the randomizer? Do you think up the logic? What's your role?
I'm the lead developer building the best randomizer. So
nice.
Yeah. So all of the code that does the website stuff is what I've worked on.
Very nice.
All right, we got Daaanty going for that early era play, knocking out a crystal, and Daaanty doing the cleanup in Kakariko.
Yep, MM2 is in Kakariko cleaning up. Daaanty's taking a play up at Hera. Hera was also a pendant, if I remember correctly.
Was it? And then I might have mistaken.
Desert was the crystal. I could be completely wrong. Although on the tracker it's marked as a crystal, so I'm going to go with the tracker on this one.
Okay. Fair enough. Then we get free shovel in Kakariko well, and Daanty's just gonna go ahead and clean up Holdorm. Hopefully, without getting knocked off this.
Oof! Took a death. I don't know what's worse, taking a death or falling off here.
Taking a death. Way worse. And he's just gonna save that for later. I think he already collected both items. I saw a piece of heart, and not sure what the other item I saw was. But I mean, with this early in the game, I would have probably clipped on top of Spectacle Rock and picked up that piece of heart.
Oh, and there's
Quite
a piece
frankly.
of heart inside as well. So yeah, to go get another heart container, definitely.
Yeah, just little things, little things. So it looks like he's going to. Well, that's a nice way to set that up. Well, it's gonna take the land bridge over to the east side.
Yeah, this is a setup that a lot of the players are shown to get onto the land bridge. So this is kind of the default setup now, I believe. And also, MM2 is going to be turning in the powder right now. So this is a night low clip where you do a little wrap there, push certain directions so that you just fall right into the magic bat cave.
I like that. It's a very, very pretty clip, actually.
All right, what's the bat have for us? $20.
Yep, just a little bit of cash.
So I guess I'm not too surprised that the runners decided to skip that 300 on Hylia Island. It's not necessarily a fast play. There are plenty of chances to find money later in the seed for Zora. So, and if they get to a point where they really need to do Zora and the money's not there, they can just go to Hylia Island.
That's fair. So the little dash MM2 just did across the top, he stopped just a little bit shy. And you want to go a little bit more, and then you can dash straight down. Otherwise, you are stuck in a position where you can't really do anything with that bush. Weird bush.
And we got a red ring on the library.
Absolutely.
And arrows
Looks like
at
we're
the
gonna
race
go.
game.
Absolutely. I'm probably going to just go into desert and take a peek around here since it's really quick to access.
Yeah, desert is a really nice early check to hit. You don't necessarily want to go to desert if you don't have fire, but I mean, if you're here and you got nothing else to do, definitely got at least 2 checks inside of desert, plus Agena, plus checkerboard, which they have gloves for, plus K45.
Yeah, it's a really good setup for just clearing out. And I mean, they're kind of out of the way for overworld glitches, but not really that far.
They also have a shovel check, so yeah, this is going to be a interesting check to do. Looks like Daaanty is setting up a Death Mountain Descent.
Yeah.
It's a witch DMD.
Yeah, with the nice auto walk at the end, dropping off that mushroom. I think that's some really good routing there. You know, just working it right into the movement. It's a great place to go do that.
And it's rewarded with a moon pearl.
That is, in Overworld Glitches, a very, very important item.
Not to mention very early, considering how bad the seeds have been recently. So, Daaanty making use of the mountain boots and climbing from the witch and down to Sarashala's closet. I'm gonna go talk, or not talk to Sarashala, but just bang this wall open and just see what he's hiding. We already know what the green pendant is. Fire rod, so there's our fire axis.
Absolutely. So at this point, I would be considering getting into the Dark World as quickly as possible. There's just a lot of stuff available there.
Definitely.
And getting to know what your other crystals are.
Definitely. And MM2 just found the mirror in desert, so this is a huge play for MM2. I'm kind of scared, though, that that mirror is going to drive MM2 to go check the mirror mountain by doing the fairy and doing Uncle and doing all of that before finding that moon pearl on mirror. Or moon pearl on mushroom, I'm sorry.
That absolutely is something that can happen, but luckily, they're just one step away, and my guess is when they dig into their shovel, they'll probably just be like, oh, I gotta do this other fetch quest. Hopefully, although they're probably doing the shovel right now, given how they're routing this.
Yep, that's definitely what MM2 is doing, a shovel now, and then let's see what they end up, or he ends up doing.
Vanilla flute. Also
That's not
known
something
as
you see.
you don't see it very often.
Yeah.
And the most useless item in Overworld Glitches.
Well, I wouldn't call it the most useless item. It definitely speeds up the movement through the overworld, so that could definitely be... Having that early can definitely help, you know, catch up if you feel behind.
Sure, but it's just... It doesn't actually get you anything, like, of value.
Yeah.
That, however...
Sword 2. So it looks like, going through Eastern, Daaanty now has 6 hearts, green mail, so I think getting Boulderarm down now would be a lot easier next time they go up to the mountain. So I want to say that's Daanty's next move once they are done in Eastern.
It definitely sounds like a good play to me.
Crubble in chat saying that hopefully the flute is a clue to MM2 to turn in the mushroom, and I definitely agree that would be a huge clue.
Absolutely. I mean, after you activate it, there's no reason not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be the play right here.
Yeah, starting at Sanctuary is definitely a sign that's exactly where he's going. Yep, going right towards Kakariko, so I think that's what we're doing now. Meanwhile, Daaanty is taking advantage of iframes by taking damage on purpose and getting knocked into the anti-fairies. While you have iframes, you're able to pick up that pot, hit the button, and get the chest.
All while not losing any of your magic, because those anti-fairies are different.
Yeah, it's something to do with the state of those anti-fairies before you kill all the enemies in the room. Once you've killed all the enemies in the room, those anti-fairies start getting their, I guess, anti-magic properties is the best way to say it.
Oh, they actually, they're a different sprite entirely until that happens.
I did not know that.
Yep. Getting our floodgate check on.
So Veetorp, I hear we have a really good festive this year.
There is a really good festive. The normal festive team basically just shopped it out to a set of really nice programmers out of Germany who were like, we have this idea. We're like, we don't want to make one right now, so feel free. And then we just slapped our name on it. I mean, no, we thought of it really. It was a really good idea. And we were happy to put it on the site as the festive this year.
So I didn't see anything important inside of Eastern, so unfortunately, Eastern turned out to be a bust.
Yeah, and only thing we're getting out of Mini Moldrum seems to be a set of flippers, which, with the mirror, could be telling us something about later in the game.
Yep, that could be Ice Palace access right there.
Yep, as well as a little bit of swamp action.
No one wants to see a little bit of swamp action.
Not really.
Especially left side swamp. The worst.
It can be a real bummer. Oh, got a nice boomerang in the back of the skate. Not much else.
Yeah, I don't know that we care about the red rang or the blue rang though when the red rang's in play.
Yeah, I don't follow.
Red rang is better than blue rang.
Ooh, I nope. Pretty sure that's incorrect, sir.
It's okay, you can be wrong. No, I'm joking.
Oh, it's fair. I mean, people like him for different reasons, but I'm a blue ranger for life. MMM picking up the MM2 picking up the Moon Pearl, and they're really set up with a solid set of items. Daanty's going to catch up on all these, basically going down that path now, and MM2 is going to traverse the Death Mountain area, but also might be able to loop in like a lot of the Dark World checks as well that are kind of free up here.
So I'm kind of wondering how long Daaanty is going to wait on Desert. after getting bitten by the pendant in Eastern. They have a fire source, and they are right here in Kakariko Village, so it would be the smart play to go down to desert now, but we'll have to see what they end up doing.
I think they'll go into desert right after. I mean, it's the logical, like, best use of your time as you're traveling south here. Like, anything else is a save and quit to somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, maybe getting to Hype Cave quicker, that could be something on their mind, but I don't know. I think desert's 2 solid items, just from the dungeon,
Mm-hmm.
and then the ledge item, checkerboard cave, and that's like 5 items. You definitely just go do it.
Yeah. And I mean, trying to think how you could wrap mirror into that, but I don't think you can. Not with where it is, because Misery Mire and Mire Shed are right there as well.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you'd have to go hop in a portal somewhere. There are many options that they have. They could do a DMD from,
Yeah, I think no matter how we route this out, you would have to get the mirror first in desert, then go up to the mountain, Death Mountain Descent to get into Mire. It's probably not worth it. It would be like your second world tour in Dark World at that point.
Right.
Oh, we're checking the bat on Daaanty's side. We're gonna get to see this this wrap again.
We're also gonna get to see a kill a Moldorm this time around.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully. That. Also, you don't really want to do slashes with the Master Sword on Moldorm because it does the same as Fighter Sword damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spin on Master Sword. I think it's slashes on Tempered Plus.
It's slashes or with Tempered, you'd want to do a spin and a slash to take him out the quickest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess Daaanty went ahead and is skipping desert right now.
Yeah, Daaanty is getting the flute first. We're gonna go activate that immediately, because that could be something for Daaanty in his mind, I think.
I guess, but it doesn't really gain him any new access.
Oh, looks like we are headed to desert now. Oh, maybe not. We went the wrong way and we need to activate flute.
Oh, I think he was doing a check on the race game. Is it worth snagging now? He's probably going to go ahead and do a skip on this.
And skipping the red ring. I think Daaanty agrees with you that blue ring is best ring.
I mean, I think it's more one stun item is enough. So, no point in getting 2. But absolutely worth getting 1. Like, you should always... If you're given an option to get either boomerang when you don't have one, the answer is yes.
Yeah. I guess the better question is it worth getting the hook shot and then getting a ring after that?
Still yes. If you're going to be taking on Ganon's Tower, there are a few applications with boomerang that make it faster to just have it.
Yeah.
Unless you're going out of your way for it, and then it's not worth it.
Yeah. Left side GT definitely has some tricks that you can utilize the boomerang to make that a little bit faster.
Oh, I see what happened. I'm guessing Daaanty probably got stuck going into Magic Bat before and was a save and quit, and that's why we went ahead and did something else.
Maybe. I honestly missed it, so...
Or we had no magic, which was another option. Because I believe I looked over and recall there was a point when Daaanty didn't have any magic. This is all pure speculation. There's no way to go back and find out at all.
Yeah, we can't exactly reverse the stream now.
Well, if you're reversing the stream, then you might end up crossing the stream, and we already know you do not cross the streams.
If someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
All right, I think we are going to get the desert play at this point. At the very least, K45. But right here's a good clip to just go straight to... Nope, looks like we're going into desert. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, that's definitely a desert clip if I ever saw one.
Looks just like it. Looks like we're going to be going down to Zora from MM2.
Yeah, we gotta get these dead rocks to go sit in their corner so that we can set up spin speed and get down to Zora.
I love this because you just dash right and you're like here perfectly. Everything's lined up for you.
We're gonna check the waterfall and fix our muddy water real quick.
Not much there.
So how is everyone doing in chat today? Welcome once again to Go Mode Podcast. My name is Cinaeth. This is Veetorp doing commentary here with us. We're just hanging out, trying to figure out the logic that these runners are doing, getting in their heads a little bit, just chilling out. How's everyone doing? We having fun? We vibing?
I'm certainly having a great time.
That's good to hear.
A slight suggestion, whenever you're getting the Zora item, don't stand right in front of Zora like that. Stand a little off to the side, so whatever falls out doesn't force you into a collect animation. Because if it's a single rupee, well, you might, be happy to just save and quit at that point. Or walk away from it.
Yeah, it's also a setup to do it that way if you intend on getting the ledge item after Zora. So you can see what Zora has. If it's garbage, then you can go and get the ledge item. But I believe Zora and the ledge item were both garbage.
Yeah, it was definitely nothing good. Daaanty getting our mirror, and we got MM2 digging down and doing the back of escape, which Daaanty has already done.
Yep, this is going to be where Fire Rod is.
He's going to go on and get that second pendant. Because why not?
I'm sorry, that's not where Fire Rod is. Fire Rod is over in Sasha's closet.
Yeah. But this should be... I understand doing this. It's a real quick fight. I think this is the green pendant, so it's one extra item anyway.
Yeah, and I believe if I'm reading the logic on the dungeon correctly, there's also an item on malmo.
That might be... I didn't see what was on the right side.
Yeah, I thought I saw a big key, a map, and a compass collected, but I could be wrong.
Alright, I think we're doing play... Yep, this is a play from MM2 to go snag the Pyramid Fairy.
Yep, so we're going to be seeing Uncle and Pyramid Fairy with only 30 minutes on the timer. That is not really heard of very often in Overworld Glitches. And with the flute, it makes it twice as fast.
Oh yeah, no, you love having the flute right there. That's so much easier than your other options. I mean, not that they're terribly hard, but getting down the mountain can be a bear sometimes.
Definitely. So we're checking a tree pull, and we're gonna check Uncle before we take that portal into Fairy Cave.
Alright, looks like we're getting K45 from Daaanty.
Uncle says, "Here are my life savings, go away."
Well, he's 4 times as rich as the old man.
I mean, he is an adventurer. I would assume that he gets a little bit better pay.
That is fair. I'm really intrigued to see what we have on our Pyramid Fairy.
I'm betting it's a dead end.
I guess we're gonna have to wait to find out, because we're going to be doing Escape first.
I don't think this is necessarily a bad play as long as you mirror out and then go right to Pyramid Fairy after you're done doing Escape.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't go after this, you're saving and quitting and losing your mirror portal?
Yep, and then you gotta set up the mirror portal again just to do it.
Alright, what do we got Daaanty doing? Is this maybe a play into the Dark World? Gonna go check on the southern shore, which he skipped out on earlier. Makes sense. Do some overworld cleanup. And it looks like our stun prize is the 5 rupee drop.
Not a bad drop to have, especially when we still need to pay Kiki to get into pod.
Yeah, knowing, and hopefully MM2 is making a mental note of that, being low on rupees at the moment.
Now, Daaanty also has 500. Do you think that they're going to go turn in for the tax collection?
I mean, I absolutely would. They don't have the flippers, though. I think they get the flippers right here.
Yeah, I believe you're right. The flippers are in Moldorm.
Not much else, but yeah. Probably on their mind to do that, but again, they also have a flute, they have some options. A little surprised we're not getting into the Dark World just yet, but I mean, this is 5 checks. This is pretty high value. And we got our Pyramid Fairy coming up right now.
That is an interesting way to get into the Pyramid Fairy, and he gets it. So normally you want to dash into that portal, because it sets up your the way that you have everything on your character. I think that's just how the sprite is lined up with the door. You can walk into the portal, but you can also mess up how your sprite is lined up, and you can just get stuck in the wall and mirror bomb.
Ah, fair enough. They're almost wiggled out of this. There we go. Sometimes on the way out, you do get stuck in a position where you can't get out of the door. If you just go in and out a few times, you'll eventually wiggle out of the door. Or the unbroken wall.
Yeah, I believe it has something to do with holding a certain direction on the control as you're exiting the fairy portal.
We're getting a fake flipper to southern Dark World, it looks like. This is a clip that before stream they were practicing, or... Yeah, this should be a real easy setup. You just bounce right out. There you go.
Yep. So clipping into the water and then swimming down to where Link's house is. You just hold the direction as you screen transition, and Link just pops out of the water. That's actually a really interesting route into Hype Cave, because then you don't need to super jump from the mountain. Oh, and a hammer is rewarded.
Yep, that is a really huge item to pick up.
And a red cane! Red cane Hype!
Huger item, wow.
Hype Cave lives up to its name.
Yeah, the real winner. So you see where Daaanty landed here. This item is just going to go flying past him.
Yep, you still pay $500 to Zora, but it's a faster save and quit. You don't have to deal with the item get jingle.
Yeah.
Might save about 2 seconds, but I mean, when you're in a race, you want to save 2 seconds as often as possible.
I wonder if this is the same play. It's kind of feeling like it, yeah. Hit the mirror portal, or hit the portal up there, and then work their way down. I mean, with the items that they have, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Now the real question is where is Daaanty going to end up going with Dark World Descent access?
I don't know. I mean, there's... The right answer is Hype Cave, as we just saw.
Yeah.
But, because the hammer is it's just that big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the hammer and the red cane are super huge items, especially, I think I saw TR up in Crystal. So I'm just going through the runner, or the tracker. So it looks like Turtle Rock, Misery Mire, Ice Palace, Thieves Town, Swamp Palace, and Pod are the required dungeons today.
Yep, and you need a hammer for basically all of them. Let's just say all of them. It doesn't matter. We're saying all of them.
Yeah, and we need the bow, which we have for Pod. We need the flippers, and we need the hook shot for Swamp. So, if I'm correct, we need the fire rod, which is over at Sasha's closet, which MM2 might take some time to get to. I don't know if we saw what the medallion requirement was for Misery Mire, but now that we're leaving, we're not going to really know.
But we absolutely need that one. There's no way into Misery Mire without it. Turtle Rock you can kind of skirt around, but Misery Mire you don't really have a choice. Oh, looks like we got stuck in the transition.
Yep, so if you don't transition at the right spot coming out of Misery Mire, you can get stuck there and your run is over on Death Mountain or Dark Descent. You gotta do another Dark Descent to get back down there.
Well, luckily we don't have to in this case because that hammer basically gives Dark World access anywhere.
That's true. You can flute down to Swamp Palace and get Dark World access. You go over to Kakariko Village, go through the top, and get Dark World access. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a single portal right now, especially with Overworld Glitches, that is restricted based on the items.
Portal, there is one, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah, the one that's south of Turtle Rock.
That is one. The Misery Mire one, like in the desert, is off limits.
Oh yeah.
And there's one other right outside Ice Palace. But otherwise, I mean, I'm a little surprised they went with a DMD here. Maybe to get King's Tomb. I guess that's fair.
Yeah, King's Tomb is a fair play. There is another clip that you can do to get down to King's Tomb with the items that we have. Might have been faster just to do it this way. Not to mention you're routing in the Dark World while you're at it.
Yeah, no, it's a fine play. I think you could have routed it a different way that you hop down and just pick up the Dark Rock in the top left with a transition. But this is totally a fine play. Probably, I could see them dipping Skullwoods, maybe, even though it's our last pendant. I have a feeling Daaanty is going to finish Skullwoods. At this point, he's already got 2 pendants. What's honestly one more for the pedestal? I don't want to believe it, but like...
Oh yeah, pedestal go mode for hookshot would be, it's definitely here. We can definitely see it. MM2 taking another death in Dark World, so burning a fairy.
So is DMD faster than hammer access to the portal north of Kek? Do you have the flute? That is a good question. You have a few screen transitions coming from the portal on top of Death Mountain, and you'd have to flute and do 3 or 4 transitions. It really depends on where you want to be, and if you're doing King's Tomb, I think DMD's probably faster. But
I definitely have to agree with you, because you go from the mountain, that's 1 screen transition to get into King's Tomb.
Right, and then if you're maybe doing, if your goal is Village of Outcasts, then maybe fluting and just using the portal might be a little faster. That's over by Kakariko.
Yeah, I think it really depends on where your end goal is.
Well, it looks like Daaanty's gonna make the pod play. I think this is the right play to make at this point, mainly because you got everything you need. A lamp would make it nicer, but you don't really need it.
Yeah, I believe pod is completely in access with the fire rod. I don't think there's a single room without torches that would make it hard.
Dark Maze doesn't have any torches, and the basement leading to Helmasaur King, the room that you hammer in, and the elbow above that, they don't have torch stanchions either.
I know that the elbow doesn't. I know the room with the mini Helmasaur, or mini turtles, I guess you could call them. That, with the 6 of them, that has torches in it.
It does, but the one, like, just down the stairs does not have anything.
Yes. Well, technically yes, but technically no.
I mean, it is the same super tile, but
yes,
doesn't have any that you can access directly from where you are in that room.
And I should probably listen to the developer of what's actually in Logic right now.
I mean, yeah, doing a sweet hover. This saves so much time in this dungeon.
Wow, look at that hover. First try.
Wake and a key. I mean, that is a huge time save. And also a break of needing the bow that they already have, but still.
Yeah, I mean, that skips, what, 3 rooms at least?
Yeah, at least kill rooms, a few other transitions, having to break open walls. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you're saving for that. And also incredibly complex. Well, incredibly hard to be that consistent.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, hovering is you have to be able to push the button for 1 frame, let go for 2 frames, or is it the other way around?
You can let go for up to 2 frames, I think, or 1 frame. That part I've never, I forget. It's been a while. But you can hold it down for up to like 30 frames. It's just the amount of time that you're letting up that's important. So you want to minimize that.
That's absolutely crazy.
You know, with the small key, I would have considered the bomb jump or like a hover across to the big key item. Although I don't know if they have the big key actually, so that would be a fair assumption that maybe they're not doing that.
Yeah, honestly, there's the big key. That answers our question right there.
Yep, totally answered. C-shaped house pulling some bombs.
All right, so I think it's about that time. Let's give a huge shout out to our runners right now. If you are not following Daaanty, if you're not following MM2 or otherTom, their mentor, Malmo, Daanty's mentor, if you're not following these people, you need to go follow them. Go hang out in their channels. Go say hey. Tell them how much you appreciate them coming in, giving us a good race.
Just tell them you love them. They don't hear it enough.
Tell them you appreciate them and they matter.
Absolutely. Speaking of appreciation, I got a huge shout out for -27, our tracker, who is keeping everybody up to date and watching all of this crazy and not even flinching at putting these things on the tracker. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Keeping
for the
us
tracking
honest.
services.
So, we got Quake and Pod. That's nice. But not really much else. So this just might be a finish the dungeon and get out kind of situation.
Yeah, I think at this point we've seen just about everything that we need to see in Pod, other than getting the crystal now.
Absolutely. Now, there is obviously we can't do this in Overworld Glitches, but if you ever get a chance, there's a lovely statue skip in Pod that you bomb yourself through the transition just before the statue room, and then you end up basically with some movement and work walking into the turtle room in the basement, the one that you have to actually kill the 6 turtles. It is a delight to watch. It is even more fun to pull off when you do it.
I believe there's also a red Yuzuhazara barrel adventure that you can use to skip and get into Almasaur.
Oh, I'll have to learn that one. There are a few of them that I have only put a little bit of time into going after. Lots of good magic refills here. Not really helpful for this next fight per se, but they will save time in the refill at the end of the dungeon.
Definitely.
Little things. We also got some Thieves Town cleanup going on from MM2.
Yeah, we've definitely taken a small route divergence here, and honestly, with the items that both runners have, I can't blame either of them for making the choices that they're making right now. With no fire source, Pod does not look very attractive for MM2. So Thieves Town is definitely the play I would make with no fire source. It's an easy dungeon, especially with the amount of life that they have right now.
Absolutely. It's also a dungeon that, for the most part, other than, say, the big chest, every chest you're passing is right along the way.
Mhm.
Like, you're basically going to be walking by all of these anyway. Might as well. As opposed to Swamp, which is also an option. I mean, for the front half, obviously, it's not a full clear dungeon. But yeah, you don't want to like be going out to the because going out to the west side's not any fun. Oh, MM2 trying to pick up a ferry earlier, and then just got a free ferry drop off of a Bari, and didn't have time to react to pick that up. Gonna get another chance at ferry right here though, underneath this pot.
There we go. We got a ferry back up now.
Absolutely, and it looks like the small key to the dungeon is sitting inside of the big chest.
That is always nice to see. Always nice to see that key trapped in the big chest.
Absolutely. Makes me wonder why they went to the left first, though. Minor thing.
Good question. Yeah, I'm realizing what you're saying, and I'm like, I'm not sure.
Oh, and here's a fun play. This is going into Ganon's Tower from Daaanty. It's a great play. You have the right side, you have the left side. I don't think the bomb jumps are necessarily in logic.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Glitches.
I believe you're right. I think without the hookshot, only the first 3 or 4 checks are in logic. After that, left side's completely out of logic. But with a red cane and a fire rod, right side's completely in logic.
Absolutely. Oh, missed the powder on that bunny bubble.
Yeah, missed the bunny bubble, but got the anti-fairy instead. So now we're just playing tile game.
Yeah, I'm a little, maybe it's just me. I'd probably save this for last still, sometimes. But, hey, it's an item, it's in logic. Might as well do it.
Yeah, and there's a few items in the back. I mean, right side has fewer items than left side, but still a valid play. You never know that the hookshot could be over here. Other go mode items could be over here that we don't know if Meyer is... Oh, Meyer is Quake. We did have that marked. So, yep, we have our Meyer access. Trying to think, do we need anything else? I mean, Lamp would be nice to get through Meyer, but...
if Turtle Rock's required, we're gonna need an Ice Rod?
Yep, Turtle Rock is required, so yep, you're right. We're gonna need an Ice Rod.
Otherwise, and Swamp is required, so we are gonna need a hookshot. It looks like some of our runners here can hover, so that might not be a problem for this dungeon. In fact, I mean, honestly, I think Daaanty could probably full clear this dungeon right now, given that they've already shown that they can hover, and the bomb jumps on the left side aren't that hard. They might just fully clear out this entire dungeon.
Yeah, you're probably right on that, so we'll have to see how far Daaanty will get.
But it looks like we're doing the front half of Swamp play from MM2. I think this is a fine play. If you absolutely need that hookshot, and they do, I would much rather... Oh, they're going for the hover version of this. Nice. And the hookshot's out in the world. I would rather go to the one place that it would suck to be in and just knock it out of the way, right? Like, because if it's in there, you're full clearing the whole world. Dark Magician's room full of a lot of good items, including the big key, meaning the hookshot is definitely not upstairs in Ganon's Tower.
I'm still kind of wondering how long MM2 is going to be putting off Sasha's Closet and Eastern Palace having that bow.
You know, it might not be the worst thing. At the moment, it really depends on where the hookshot ends up.
Oh wait, we have the hookshot. We just saw it used. Where'd that come from?
Maybe that's why we're in this dungeon. We're gonna go with the hookshot. Must be on the smith chain, and we didn't notice it. What? No. When did that happen?
I totally. Where in the world did the hookshot come from?
That's all right. We're gonna get some confirmation on when that happened, but that puts us only needing the ice rod to finish this game.
Right, you are. Although, is Meyer really in Logic without a lamp?
I mean, again, it's not, but, like, do you think that's gonna stop these two runners?
No, I don't think it's gonna stop. Well, I will admit that dark room, the Meyer dark area, the entire dark area, is the worst one out of all of the dark areas. Like, I'll take Aga 1 and Pod Mazes over Misery Mire any day.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I think I would put Aga 1 as being the hardest dark room in the game.
I don't think Aga 1's that bad once you learn it, because it's literally like go one direction and go another direction and you're done. Pod's a little bit harder than Aga 1 in my opinion. And then Meyer's definitely the hardest.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, I think for me it's the same as what you're saying, where I've just memorized the Meyer dark rooms. They actually feel pretty right up, you know, like both males. Not that they matter that much for these runners. Both males sitting on the exact same floor in Ganon's tower, right next to each other.
MM2 showing off a diver down, setting up a bomb on the switch so that it switches back as soon as you enter the room, and then jumping into the water again to just swim on over. This is definitely a fast swamp. And there's Ice Rod.
Wow, so here's the thing. Daaanty has already shown that they're okay hovering, and they're going straight to the top of the tower. They're in go mode. I think they're mentally in go mode at this point.
Trying to think. Yeah, can you hover swamp? That's my question.
You cannot hover swamp. They are not in go mode. So never mind everything I said.
We're still looking for the hookshot.
But absolutely, if the only thing they're looking for is hookshot, they know they don't have to open any chests upstairs. If they did the logic of swamp, or that the Dark Magician's room requires the hookshot, or it requires bomb jumps, but those are in logic as far as I know. Don't hold me to that though. It is Overworld Glitches.
Yeah, the fun part about Link to the Past and Overworld Glitches especially is that new tech is being discovered, I would say almost on a weekly basis.
And in a future version of the randomizer, we'll be able to add that into the logic on a weekly basis. Still in the works.
Like, think about this. The newest trick to this game, that I know of anyways, is Diver Down and Icebreaker, and those were only discovered, what, a couple months ago?
Sounds about right. Yeah. I'm trying to remember when there was a large debate in the NMG community about these two glitches. It may have only been a few months ago. Might have been a year ago, though, now. Still, for a game as old as this is...
Yeah. Considering how old this game is and we're still finding tricks, that's a fun thing to think about. Rebel in chat, I think, is right that the hookshot is in Thieves' Town. Because that's the only place that we've been that Daaanty hasn't been, that we may have missed something.
That's fair. I will. I just got one cleanup hit on this last landmo. Now, there is something to be said that MM2 right now has a better sword, which will speed up a fair amount of their movement for quite some time. And that is not something that Daaanty's going to be able to like immediately get back.
But Daaanty does have a nice little mail upgrade to make the game safer.
Absolutely. Speaking of safer.
Oh no!
Oh, they have a fairy though.
Oh, that's true.
We saw that earlier.
That's true. We got the fairy back up.
Definitely some time lost due to that, but not the same time loss as you get from, I don't know, having to rewalk the dungeon.
Yeah. Rewalking all of the swamp is not pretty.
And actually, I respect picking up fairies if you feel uncomfortable in any way. Wow, no more magic left. Oh, we are going to open up the, well, maybe they're looking for, another sword.
Oh, lamp.
The
Very
lamp.
nice.
That's going to speed up Misery Mire. That's about it.
I think that's all lamp speeds
Turtle
up.
Rock?
Yeah. Turtle Rock, yeah.
I mean, Turtle Rock doesn't actually really speed it up because it's like you're playing it on rails, but maybe a little bit. Alright, so that first one, not going to be helpful. Alright, he's going to do 2 more spins after this, probably.
Alright, looks like MM2 is done with Swamp and is headed towards Pod. This might be the time for MM2 to go into Sasha's closet and grab the couple items that he needs to make this game a whole lot more go mode for him.
Yep. And I think after getting the Fire Rod, it'll be pretty much the best answer with the hook shot, the red cane, the fire rod, the hammer. You go to Ganon's Tower. There's 22 items. There's 27 items there. Like, you just go.
Yep, I definitely agree that after a pod play, going right to GT is the answer.
There we go. Got the fire rod. GT logic is very confusing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when Chris and I were discussing what to keep in logic for Overworld Glitches, I'm pretty sure, and this is thinking back to, because I think this has been around for over 2 years, that we said bomb jumps would not be in logic.
The real question is, and this is I wouldn't say hotly debated, but we always have to kind of clarify, how many keys do you need to have GT completely in logic on either side?
Do you want the simple thing that I use, the mnemonic that I remember? It's not
Sure.
a mnemonic.
Yeah, let's do it.
You will find 4 keys in GT that are not like under pots or whatever. Most of the time you'll find them in the front. If you find one in a room that has 4 chests in it, the big key is going to be in there with it. I hope that helps.
So basically, 4 chests, small key means big key is in the same room.
Yep. It's not actually super helpful to know that, but it's definitely something that is true.
Now, is that true for all different logics, or is that only true for Overworld Glitches?
That'd be true for regular logic, and because they share the same dungeon underground. I think that might also be true with the way we wrote major glitches, although I'd have to look back at that. That code is probably some of the oldest we have. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, no logic. There's no logic, so get wrecked.
Get wrecked.
So here we see that MM2 is going to take the normal route through pod since they can't hover. Not necessarily the worst thing. Because of the items that Daaanty has, it just might take longer to get that hook shot, which means Swamp might be a ways away.
Mm-hmm.
And if MM2 ends up going and doing where's a GT right after this, then like that's full go mode.
We are still missing Quake for MM2, and I honestly don't remember where it was, so we do still need that item for full go mode. Oh, never mind, this is quad. There it is.
So carrying on with my story from moments ago. Basically, it's the play to GT for the ice rod, and then there's really no reason. I mean, they might also get that. Trying to set up the thing where you can just dash up through those blocks. I still just need to get this.
What is that?
So I think you have to set the Samaria block down, and this is, I could be entirely wrong, so I'm gonna preface this entire statement with this. You set the Samaria block to the left, and then you start a dash from the jagged edge straight up, and you should be able to dash through the blocks.
That is tech that I never knew about.
Yeah, I've seen it twice, and I've yet to actually take a moment to practice it.
MM2 grabbing another backup fairy, honestly, not a bad choice.
I mean, if it saved saved you once,
yep,
it's not the worst idea to have one there.
I feel like we're thinking with portals over on Daaanty's side. You see the two beams?
that was nice. Landed right there on that exact frame. Ooh, so Daaanty's doing some slow movement through MM. This is both good and bad. I'm not gonna say who I think is ahead, so I'm not gonna say anything. Deal with it. Who do you think's ahead right now?
I will think that MM2 is ahead right now.
Fair. There's definitely, they're both still gonna open every chest they come across until MM2 gets the ice rod and until Daaanty gets the hook shot. MM2 definitely has the better sword, which speeds things up. Daaanty has finished one of the longest dungeons that is there.
Yeah, and as chat is kind of reminding us, this is really anyone's race to lose. It's going to be really hard to call until we've gotten that 7 crystal, and then we can really see who's going to get the game first. And even then, we could have a really close race where both players are getting to Ganon at the same time with 7 crystals, and it just turns into who can tech out Ganon better.
Here's hoping. Here's really hoping.
Yeah, those are the best races, getting 2 players into Ganon at the same time.
Well, and Lilifin, what we're thinking, so Lilifin said that Daaanty is going to clear out all the crystal dungeons looking for the hookshot. That is true. And did we determine that the hookshot was in Thieves Town? Was that?
I think that is the current belief, but I don't know if it's been absolutely confirmed. And it is a crystal dungeon, so I mean, Misery Mire into Thieves Town is probably the best play right now. Oh, Dig Game is what I'm being told. So even better, doing Misery Mire into Dig Game is a good play.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point, Luke, and I understand what you're saying. So Daaanty will just prioritize going into the crystal dungeons.
Oh, over actually doing any of the side quests.
Yeah, I mean, why spend time in the overworld if what you're looking for is along the way? Possible. Yeah, so this is this could be very interesting. It really depends on where Daaanty goes from here. Yeah. I could see a safe quit from here. Actually, there's lots of stuff that can just happen right now.
Yeah,
and
this
is. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is going to be an interesting decision for Daaanty to make here. Oh, nice kill.
Absolutely, getting the full magic. Although, again, probably didn't need it in this case because you get it from the refill at the end, but it does save a little refill time later. Oh, checking the sick kid. Doing the side quests.
Chat was incorrect. We are doing a side quest.
So, maybe we're going to be doing the Right in the Way side quest, but definitely going into Thieves' Town next is the one that makes most sense. Again, you have to basically walk by every single chest in the dungeon. So it makes sense, just knock it out.
MM2 sitting on 2 hearts and green mail. Hopefully Helmasaur decides to be friendly.
Well, also has that fairy, but still.
Yep, but that can happen. That can happen where Helmasaur just decides to charge right into you and then, well, rip.
Hopefully just gets 4 slashes in there real quick. There you go.
Got it.
Yeah, so go ahead.
That's twice now that a fairy has saved MM2 on a boss.
Absolutely. It's a good understanding of their comfortability, going ahead and taking... I mean, the amount of time they spent on the side to pick up a fairy and the amount for the refill of the fairy way washes out having to rewalk any of these dungeons.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely very smart plays there. I'm thinking M2's going to GT. I hope otherTom says, look at what you have. We're going to GT.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
It's kind of feeling that way with where they're starting.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, looks like Daaanty has stopped the side quest mission and is clearing out this crystal dungeon. I don't blame them for doing this. Like you said, Thieves' Town's right in the way. All the chests are right in the way. You're in the area doing side quests. I don't see any downside to doing Thieves' Town at this point.
That's fair. I'm a little curious as to why MM2 reset the camera. Looks like we're doing, we're gonna maybe go into Turtle Rock first? Or do Hookshot Cave, I guess?
This looks like check. Yeah, this looks like a Hookshot Cave play to me.
Because I'm pretty sure they were already over here and checked Super Bunny. Okay, maybe they didn't check Super Bunny, but they were definitely not over here then.
Right, yeah, so we're doing Super Bunny and probably Hookshot back to back, and then it's just a matter of, do we go to GT after that? Hopefully we do, but we don't know, what they're thinking.
I could see a play in the TR. Like, it's not slow because you literally just, ledge clip in with the spin speed, so, like, you can always come back later pretty quickly. But maybe it's the whole, well, what if the ice rod is in Turtle Rock? Well, then just knock it out, right?
Yeah, it turns into what's better item density, and to me, the better item density in my mind, if our MM2 is GT. Don't forget about GT in this mode.
No, that's fair. Oh, and they got a book. Books.
And they're on 4 swords.
Wow. Yeah, it's really a rough thing, and okay, going to GT. Which, I think this is the whole, beat the dungeon you can beat first. Also, it has way more good stuff. No, we're going for...
Again, not a bad thing to route in while you're up here.
Yeah. Free heart, that's the 16th one, wow. And Daanty's gonna go clean up some blind here. Maybe? Let's see where they go, because they might go into the cave here first. Nope, this is GT. This is gonna be a good play. And this setup is dead easy with the hookshot. I love it.
Yeah, getting into GT is super free with hookshot.
If they literally just go left side after these 2 chests, they're gonna be basically in go mode in like 2 minutes.
Not to mention saving a ton of time over Daaanty, who did the right side first, but it looks like MM2 is also going to do right side first. So, a wash on time save, but it's still not a terrible play.
Yeah, so I personally, as a as a runner, disagree with this play of checking the tile room first when you literally need one item. Like, I get that this could be the ice rod, but really, maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna let that one go.
I'm going to agree with you. I would go left first. I would check Hope Room, and if Hope Room doesn't have it, I would go left. That's exactly what I do every time I come up to GT, and I have logic for left side. With the way that Daaanty went in here, I don't blame them for going right first because they didn't have everything that they needed to do left side.
Well, and I could even see going right side. There's 4 chests just bundled up right next to each other. I can see that. I wonder about doing the tile room.
I mean, you have to do the tile room in order to get those 4 chests, don't you?
Did they not have a key?
I don't believe they had a key.
No, because there was a bottle in the tile room. They had a key.
Okay.
They chose to do the tile room. That was a choice. It's fine. Like, you do what feels right. That's all about being a runner. I just personally would have probably saved it for last, and you know. Oh, we got a free fairy, and looks like Daaanty is in go mode. Doing the side quests.
Yep, we finally got it done.
Does Daaanty know Daaanty is in go mode?
Well, let's take a look at our crystals right now. It looks like the dungeons that we have left is Ice Palace, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock on MM2's side. Meanwhile, we're looking at Swamp Palace, Ice Palace, and Turtle Rock on Daanty's side. What do you think for the length of the dungeons and just being in go mode? Who do you think is going to get there a little faster?
At this point, I think Daaanty is going to get there a little bit faster. There's still half of GT to be finished by MM2, and I mean MM2 is going to get to go mode Misery Mire, but they're both going to just whip through Ice Palace like it's nobody's business. And Turtle Rock's not all that. Depending on if they mirror wrap, like. Sure, they have to find the big key, but then it's a quick mirror wrap to get to the boss. Or a small walkthrough part of the dungeon. Whatever works for you. Yeah, I don't know. I think at this exact moment. But it really depends on how quickly MM2 finds this ice rod.
Oh, there it is. MM2 now has the ice rod, so that is go mode.
Yep, that is go mode as well. I mean, I guess so. Half of Swamp in go mode plus Tower of Hera maybe equals Misery Mire. MM2 is checking more things.
Yeah, we don't have big key yet.
That would make sense. Let's go get that big key, kids. I'm here with you. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. I get it. I can only imagine your seat blur compared to, like, people who actually run the game.
Alright, now we got that big key.
Now we can mirror and get the heck out of here. Oh, may as well get the gloves while we're here, but... Or are we going to clear the rest?
I don't know. Looks like we're going to continue on clearing because maybe they don't realize.
Maybe looking for lamp because I know MM2 is not comfortable with Misery Mire without a lamp.
Well, I got a good story for them if they just go up to the top of the tower.
Yep. But we don't know. He doesn't know that.
I know.
You're going to check, I mean, in their spot, this is not a bad play if you're not comfortable with Misery Mire without the lamp. This is definitely not a bad play if you're looking for it.
No, I agree. They have 5 more things that they get to check. It's not too many transitions out of the way at this point. One of them's right here, and then I think it's 3 more transitions, and they'll be at the 4 extra chests.
Meanwhile, Daaanty is making short work of this boss here, Argus. That's probably the fastest Argus kill I've seen.
Real easy with the quick swap. Getting set up for that. Alright, well, we should see a mirror here from MM2. I doubt they're gonna go full on to the big chest. Or... okay. I stand corrected. I think you might be right about the lamp.
Oh, I know I'm right about the lamp. MM2 is one of my good friends, and we race every now and again, just to have fun and kind of learn the game and hang out. And he's told me straight up that he's not comfortable with Restreamer without lamp.
Fair enough. Well, we should see pretty quick Ice Palace out of Daaanty here. And MM2 will be up at the top of GT shortly. Get that lamp, which will be good. But then, yeah, I think there still is Tower of Hera to consider. But there's also still Misery Mire to consider.
Yeah, I think this is really going to turn into a show of skill when it comes to doing these dungeons in a no major glitches kind of extension now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's not much overworld movement that they have to worry about.
So this is still, I think, anyone's game. This Mimic is not playing nice with MM2, but he finally gets it.
Yeah, that awful Beamos in the way slurps up arrows. I've run into that situation before too, where he just gets in the way.
Silver arrows. That's a huge find.
The one-off check, because it was right in front of him. Getting silvers. I mean, yeah. Wow.
So what does that speed up? It doesn't speed up Turtle Rock because silver arrows don't hurt Trinex. I mean, I don't think it hurts.
Speeds up Ganon.
It speeds up Ganon. I don't think it speeds up Cold Stare.
No, not at all. Not at all. It really just takes, basically, what, like a minute and a half out of the Ganon fight? Which, I mean, that's no slouch for a half-second chest check, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think from what I've seen so far with the quick kills, Daaanty's got the advantage, I think, on the dungeon clears.
There will be, there's a little bit of, having the gold sword will probably speed up the cold stare kill a little bit. And it will help with the Trinex kill. Could maybe get a 0 cycle, but I don't know if MM2 is practiced in that. Really should just be slashing like mad with that gold sword right here instead of shooting fire rod shots. The gold sword does the same damage that a fire rod shot does. Yeah, so just laying into the landmost with that's good. We got Daaanty working their way through Tower of Hera. Probably gonna do a clip right here, be my guess.
Yep, they're gonna try to get the hook speed through the pod to get up to the top. And gets it on the 3rd try.
That's not too bad. And then they'll have a pretty quick work of Turtle Rock right after that. MM2 is going to snag this lamp here in just a few rooms. And then they'll have to clean up the 3 remaining dungeons.
It honestly, with an hour and 17 in, these runners must be starting to feel nervous considering they're both in go mode.
Yeah, this is a pretty quick one. Oh, I see. A little concerned about the magic. So you don't want to mess this up. Makes sense. I think they've really only got one shot at this. Good use of the knowledge of getting those. You earned this free pot refill. Go pick it up.
Yep, definitely a really nice play there. Looks like Daaanty is going to be setting up to do a mirror wrap into TR to get to Laser Bridge.
All right, so the big question: they got the lamp. Do they stop opening chests at this point? I mean, obviously, other than when they're in a dungeon and they have to for big keys.
I don't think MM2 is going to open any other chest. He might even miss the silver arrows. Because, yeah, full go mode. There's nothing that we need to make this game any better.
Interesting that I can tell you for a fact. I think the way the logic currently works, Daaanty is not going to find a big key on this bridge.
Yep, I believe you are correct. The big key has to be either in the middle or in the front.
Yeah. So I think okay. For a moment, I was concerned that they were going to carry on to the boss. They know what's going on. Don't fall. There you go. Sorry.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Daaanty ended up opening that many chests in Laser Bridge. I'm kind of wondering what they ended up trying to look for there.
They were looking for a small key. After the third chest, it was a small key. I don't know why they were looking for a small key. Because the way that they've set this... Oh, they still need to open the door to Cinaeth. Like, there's a small key door before... Yep. Yeah, so they were probably just going, hey, I'm just going to do this in case. But going backwards to the dungeon, you literally go through like, you don't need any small keys.
Mm-hmm.
Until chain chomps.
Yep. I guess that makes sense. Set up enough small keys so that you can get through chain chomps and through Cinaeth. And then you have your mirror set up down at Laser Bridge, so when you do find the big key, you can immediately mirror to that area, and yeah, that's it.
Alright, Agatu's down. Yeah, carry on.
MM2, I was about the same thing. Agatu's down.
So it's just a pretty quick cleanup of 3 dungeons. Solid plays. Definitely huge with having the hook shot. The only downside is that his opponent didn't need the hook shot until, getting through Swamp.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this race came down to knowledge of hovering, which, by the way, is not required by Overworld Glitches.
Nope, because I can't do it, so it's not going to be required. Just kidding, it's just never going to be required. It's the problem with it is it's a little too skill intensive. Like, once you've practiced it, you probably have it, but there is a point where it's...
The skill ceiling is too high to make it accessible, I think is the best way to say that.
Right, and our goal is to kind of make this open and up. Like, if you made a mode that only people who do hovering can do, well, then you'll have, 6 people who play it. Which is fine, but I'd like more people to play, Overworld Glitches.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I believe that's the goal of all your different modes, is to make it so that as many players can access it as much as possible.
Absolutely.
With exception to...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, with exception to Overworld Glitches. Or not, I'm sorry, not Overworld, I'm sorry, No Logic is what I meant.
Yeah, well, that's not really a mode. That's like the absence of a mode.
We don't care where the items go, as long as these 8 items are not self-locking.
So this is, did MM2 go back for a, or did they hit the switch? I might have missed that. Otherwise, they might have to get a big key and a small key. No, they have the big key. They got the big key in the first room. Okay, so they're just like, alright, then they're good. They're good.
And then you can steal the small key from the middle there. Are we gonna get the silver arrows? Let's see it.
I think they're gonna definitely pick up the silvers here. Nope! Prove them wrong!
You're good at writing code, not good at predicting player actions.
I guess so. Wow. I guess they're just gonna go to the next room and steal the key. If they didn't hit the switch. I don't think they hit the switch. Yeah, so they have to steal the key from the room to the right. They're not gonna go very far if they go just straight up. Okay. I mean, I probably would have lifted that one chest to just see if maybe it was worth it. But I get it's the same vein of like, do you really just open up a bunch of chests that you know you don't need? All right, we got. I'm pretty sure Daaanty is just on their way to Ganon.
Yep, this is going into Ganon now.
Wow, with those silvers, this is very fast.
Yeah, this is going to be a sub 130 by the looks of it.
On top of nearly, collecting the 2 extra pendants. So that's a lot of extra work into this.
Yeah, that's a super jet seed.
Also, the fire rod is good here. It actually does the same amount of damage that the gold sword does on cold stare. So if he's close, hit him with the sword. If he's far away, fire rod him. You also do get splash damage with the fire rod, which is important.
All right, here we go on the Ganon fight. Let's see if we can just do this real quick. No issues, no dying, no falling down pits.
Yeah, that would not be fun. Also, Ganon thinks he's in Pink Floyd now.
Get some nice spin setups on the top there. I think that's enough to push into phase 3.
Should only need 3 spins because each one counts as gold sword hit twice, so you get 6 hits in. You don't shoot arrows at him in this phase.
Get a little preemptive on those arrows.
It used to be Ganon would just tell you where the silver arrow upgrade was, and then we switched it to have
wow.
2 of those. That was a good triple, solid triple.
What a fight! What a race! So with an official game race time, Daaanty has finished first place with 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 44 seconds.
That's fast. We got MM2, just 2 dungeons to clean up. If they fish room, which no one fish rooms, but if they fish room, this will be a fast dungeon. I hope they fish room. Everybody hopes they fish room.
All right. We are joined by Daaanty and Malmo, their mentor. How are you two doing? What do you guys think of that race? That was an insane time you guys got.
Felt like a jet seed.
I was really worried I was behind, honestly, just because we did the pendants for I feel like almost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fair shot you would have been behind if you would have spent time just going after dungeons and not doing the overworld and getting the hookshot. But you definitely pulled it out.
Yeah, that was actually, I'll admit, that was mentor intervention, because I was like, screw it, let's just go clear crystals. And Malmo's like, just rely on your execution. Go check those overworld spots. It's not that far out of the way. So she was right.
Yeah, I was a little concerned you were leaving holes all over the map because that, one item from Go Mode jitters, which can, pay off, but I didn't feel like you really needed to make those kind of gambles.
Yeah, just all the crystals and, the items inside completely, it's like super tempting.
I legit, honest to God, thought you were gonna go dip Skullwoods and then just pull the pedestal anyway for fun.
Honestly, I thought about Skullwoods because in week 1, I lost to Shulcer, basically being bow for Go mode and thinking, I bet the bows and pendant Skullwoods, and then I did that like last location and that's where it was. So that was kind of on my mind. Like, obviously when you get burned by something, you think about the stuff that's burned you in the past, but it was kind of like, there's so much to do, just keep doing this.
And I think your execution is exactly what got you really far ahead at this point. Just the speed in which you were destroying bosses was super impressive.
Well, thanks. Played a lot of, I guess, non-glitch modes or competitive racing rule set, however you want to classify it. But, learning Overworld Glitches has been like super fun. The most I've done besides, this tournament has just been, clipping around in multi-worlds or something. So, learning it and like starting to understand the logic a little bit has been really fun. I've completed a few seeds before, like really slowly, but not thinking about the logic. It's just like, well, I got boots, I guess I can go everywhere.
When did you spend the time learning to hover, though?
Yeah, I was going to ask about the hover as well, because I think the hover is really what got you farther into the seed.
Let's see. I learned that like spring of 2019, about a year into playing Rando, and it was just one of those things where it's like, obviously it's like a hard trick that people talk about, but I found a rhythm where like my fingers hit the button, and being a rhythm game player, I just listen for the same like actual like rhythm, and then once I hit that, I pretty much feel like I've got it, as long as my controller's broken in.
Interesting. It looks like you missed out on a full heart for if you would have done Skullwoods. So.
Yeah, so was doing a pedestal pull ever in the back of your mind in the beginning of the run because you got into pendants already?
Yes. We were
Malmo
joking about
mentioned
it the whole time. I didn't think we should actually do it, but we were saying, this might be the kind of seed where you just like casually pull the pedestal because you happen to have the pendants when you're at Skullwoods.
Yeah, it was something to consider, but it wasn't something that I was like really weighing on. I was really glad, honestly, that we found Ice Rod before Hook, because if we found Hook first, I would have probably not really known where to go. It would have just kind of been, all right, well, there's an Ice Rod somewhere, and it's worse than it's worse than anything else in the game, I guess.
Yeah, Ice Rod hunts are definitely no fun. Trying to think through the seed. Was there really anything or any point that you started finding things and you were like, okay, this is starting to look scary?
I thought there was going to be a hook on Moldorm since I, died with 3 hearts like a dingus,
yeah.
But that kind of weighed on me a good bit. And early mistakes like that's like one of the things that it'll kind of put me in a tilt. So just being able to kind of settle into the run and progression came. We got to check other stuff. It worked out. Malmo saving me with we couldn't figure out how I screwed up that clip going to Magic Bat, and then I was like, we're gonna go get it this time, and it's not gonna be anything. And then lo and behold, big 20.
Big 20 for your troubles. Speaking of Magic Bat, was there any tricks that you had to learn on the fly, or anything that you were just rusty with that Malmo kind of had to hold your hand a little, or?
There was the trick to get that we used after the pyramid play. I've used that like a fake flipper there, and like clipping over to hammer pegs. However, I didn't know there was really a way to get past the pegs over on the right side where the bridge is in Light World.
Mhm.
So that was something kind of learning on the fly. I mean, obviously, it's not a super hard trick if you know the concept of getting out of the water. For the hammer pegs, then you kind of learn it's the same concept. So by holding the up left.
I did make a boo-boo there and forgot you had flippers, so I put you on the fake flipper route instead of the real flipper route. If you have real flippers, you just go all the way to where the hammer pegs are and clip out there and save quite a bit of time.
Yeah. It wasn't too much of a time loss.
Well, yeah, obviously not with a 125. How do you feel about that time? That is an impressive time for any randomizer, let alone an Overworld Glitches randomizer.
I feel like it's decent. I don't really think it was anything special because we did a lot of stuff that you could, in theory, bypass. Obviously, it's not like a high percentage play to bypass the stuff that we did. I've played one. I think I did a practice seed Sunday, and I think it was ended up being a 108. But basically, there was 3 tricks that had to be done, and after that, it was kind of like everything was just on the path. So when that happens, that's when it's all execution, I guess. But I don't feel like those are very common with OWG. It's a lot of last locationing, and at least it can be.
Yeah, this is probably the nicest seed that we've had all tournament long. What do you think, Malmo?
Oh, I agree. I mean, the nicest seed we'd had was actually the weekly race 2 weeks ago, but that was not a tournament game, so I think you're correct. This is the nicest seed in the tournament.
It's been blessed.
And guess what? It was rolled by me, so it's not just me. Overworld Glitches is just bad. And we all just stay in it because we get addicted to the boots clips.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta say, starting with boots is always nice. At least it feels nice. For traversal, my D-pad likes starting with boots.
You don't pump the whole time, do you?
I do. Or at least I try to.
Well, fair enough. That definitely will hurt the rubbers inside the D-pad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got on a side note, MM2 just getting to real close to that Turtle Rock big key, and then it'll be off to Ganon. So
I was a little mad that because Daaanty really wanted to go here, and I said, yeah, this is probably a free play because you almost always full clear it. And of course, the one time when he actually got to go mode it was a full clear.
Yeah, it was kind of was feels bad. It's like, all right, I want this key to be on lava chest because I've seen people skip lava chest, go to the front and then that's where it was. So I'm thinking that would be super awesome, just mirror to the back. Of course it wasn't. We had to do this puzzle anyway. It felt like just playing no glitches but in reverse. So
Mm-hmm.
well, one day we'll get it so that the mirror clips are in logic, and you could find that big key on that bridge.
Oh, that's just Major Glitches logic. But Major Glitches logic has all this other baggage in it that makes it kind of awful to play. If you like speed.
No, I mean, absolutely fair.
Honestly, I feel like the mirror clip to Ice Palace or the mirror wrap is much easier to learn and remember than the one that's actually in logic with the flippers and the one glove or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's not going to stay in logic though. That's probably going to be nixed in the next version because nobody who actually plays glitch wants that in logic.
So you're saying I should keep that in the logic? Okay.
It's not going to stay, yeah. So don't get too attached to it. It's going to be a sequence break again. I don't know when, but the consensus is it doesn't belong in Overworld Glitches for exactly the reason you described.
Oh, we'll have to talk to the person that puts that in the logic, get them to take it out.
Yeah,
Well, there was a
if only
brief
the
moment.
person, if that was in the chat with us,
Yeah.
had any
There was
effect
a brief
over
moment
that.
where mirror wraps were in logic. If you go into like the release notes, there's like mirror wraps out into logic, and then the next one is mirror wraps taken out of logic.
Yeah,
But if
I
you really
wonder why
want
they
that,
did that.
you can go into the customizer and make your own preset that puts those in logic and play on your own or erase it with your friends.
Absolutely.
You could
Yeah, that's,
also go into what was I gonna say? You can go into Berserkers and
You actually
just,
can.
oh, you can't do it there?
That doesn't support logic changes at the moment.
Interesting.
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't support major glitch features like mirror wraps and so on. But that's okay. You can just play no logic because that's what everything turns into anyway.
You're not wrong.
the de-evolution, absolutely.
Where is MM2 going?
MM2 is memeing.
Probably. I guess so.
It's not Ganon.
Are we playing? Are we playing Guess the Ganon entrance?
I feel like that was you think you have an Aga portal play.
Yeah, when we were clearing TR, and I feel like I ask this like every time we do a mentor race, but I'm like, is there a faster way, like with the glitches, to not have to go in this portal, and not have to run up or go to 4 or 5? You know, I expect there's like just some swag way to get there faster, but sadly, I guess there's not.
Depending on what your last dungeon is, fake flute. You can fake flute to 4 or fake flute to 5 and just run there. I think 4 is faster because the whole point of 4 is that you don't have to go through the portal and you can just dash up here. But because of where you were when you exited Turtle Rock, you weren't able to exit because you hadn't opened it.
Right.
So you didn't have access to a screen transition.
I think the swag play that you could do at any time would be to void out to get to Ganon's tower.
I've seen people do that too. I don't know if that saves time or not. Probably do something like River Clip. I've heard that River Clip from Thieves Town is faster than the NMG methods. But then Thieves Town has to be your last dungeon, which is very rare.
Mm-hmm.
So where was the final sword?
Hookshot Cave.
Oh. Like the hookshotable chest or the one that you would have to hover to if hookshot was your go mode?
I believe it was the last hookshot cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was MM2's go mode?
It was the ice rod. Technically the lamp, because they carried on looking for items until they got the lamp. I don't think they're as comfortable with the dark rooms as other people.
That's fair. I mean, a lot of the
Assuming
dark
they
rooms...
weren't looking for silvers or a sword.
Nope, they walked right by silvers.
Oh no.
Oh no. That's a chest I would have walked past too, because my usual route through ice is to just dash across those spikes and go mode.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could see, like, given the situation, like, opening it, they could have used an extra key. Because they ended up doing the first chest, which was the big key. So instead of going up and hitting the switch, they were then basically needing 2 keys.
They didn't do the switch. Oh no.
Which, I mean, it's fine if you have the big key, because there are 2 keys you can get along the way. But it is, like, at that point, I would have at least just opened that one chest, because if it was the second key, you're done. Right?
But if you're in go mode, why do you have the big key? You shouldn't be opening chests at all, except for that icebreaker chest, and only because the icebreaker chest might be a small key.
My guess is they probably were thinking small key. They were in the room, or it was muscle memory, which also happens.
Yeah, muscle memory is so common. You walk in there with your sword out and you just start doing things.
And Ganon is down over on MM2's side. Good game to MM2.
Absolutely. That was a fast and a lot going on.
With an official race time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 52 seconds. Again, not a bad time for doing a randomizer overworld glitches at all.
So some big GGs. Before we, if they're popping in for an interview, which I hope they are, don't forget to follow our runners. Follow all the people that are helping out here. Big shout out to -27 for keeping you guys up to date and keeping us up to date with what items were found by which runners at which times. Takes a lot to make a tournament run. Big shout out to Cinaeth for not only restreaming this, but commentating and catching me when I don't know anything about this game. So,
and we are joined by MM2 and their mentor, otherTom. How are you two doing today?
Pretty good. I'm gonna blame Daaanty's NMG execution for this one. You're just too good. You're just too good, man.
That was certainly a big help. Daaanty also has the ability to hover, which puts another bit of a edge for him in this particular one.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, playing on keyboard does give you that little handicap.
Yeah, that would be really tough to hover on that, but pumping's pretty free on, I know this is with boots, but pumping's free with keyboard, I guess.
Yeah, pumping is very much free on keyboard.
Boots clipping's a little easier too, because you can do it one-handed without contorting your fingers.
That is also true. Mama, I think it was you who told me rebind your keyboard so you can actually boots clip with one hand.
Oh yeah, I learned that from Espeon because he said he used to play and they were like across from each other, and when he started playing Glitched, he had to actually move his D-pad closer to his face buttons.
I mean, it definitely made my boots clipping better. That change.
All right. So, what do you think about the seed MM2? Other than that you knew that Daaanty would probably won because of his execution.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the seed was pretty nice. Like, once we found the ice rod, I was pretty worried about not finding lamp for a while because I can't do Darkmire. Mm-hmm. But we found it in GT Climb, and I was pretty relieved about that. And then, other than the soft block after coming out of Mire, it wasn't that bad. I liked it. I liked how we did it. But execution trumps everything.
It can certainly help or hurt you, depending on how quickly you can clear things. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I used the fairy I had a fair few times. So,
actually, big applause to you for that. Knowing like, hey, maybe this is going to get out of hand, taking a little bit of extra time to get that fairy, and even the slight time loss for doing a fairy revival saves rewalking an entire dungeon, that was actually very, very smart.
Every one of those fairy revivals were Yeah, I feel like the one that saved me the most was the one, I think it was like right before we went into Skull Woods. That was the first one, and I feel like that was the biggest time save.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was a couple of times that the fairy kind of really came in clutch and saved a death that really could have. I think Swamp Palace was one of the ones that I remember that it was, you're either going to rewalk that entire dungeon or you're going to kill Argus, and you ended up killing Argus because you had a fairy.
Yeah, I know true deaths, but a fair few fairy revivals in this seed.
Yeah, I mean, having fairies or knowing that, if you've got the opportunity to get them, we say this on the podcast a lot, is, when we're talking about certain scenarios, having it, maybe investing a little bit of time, especially for like boss fights, it's definitely worth having that versus thinking you don't need it, and then taking a death, and then you've got to go all the way back to the boss. That and potions too. So it is definitely, faster in a way to go slightly slower than to have to backtrack an entire dungeon.
Yeah, and it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Also worked out really nice having powder that early.
Oh yeah, powder is a huge lifesaver.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll say it's been a little while since I've played Overworld Glitches, and watching this tournament, it's nice to see some of the new stuff people have been finding and the different ways that they're getting to some of these locations.
We're learning new stuff just from talking to each other. Like, we had somebody who was just kind of outside of the racing community who had discovered a way to get to Graveyard Ledge without a sword, and completely changed how we do that now.
Nice.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna have to have someone to show that to me at some point.
Oh, that will be next week during the interim week. We're going to start kind of a pre-boots camp for learning swordless strats. We're also going to release some async games that you can play that are randomized swords. So that'll be the perfect time to start that stuff.
Perfect.
Like I said, tricks are being discovered for this old SNES game literally every other week.
And new and exciting ways to play it all the time. It's kind of crazy that, so many people play this old game. Just kind of with a fresh coat of paint on it every time we generate a seed. Thanks, Veetorp. It's fun.
You're welcome. And maybe one of these days we will get that logic updated. I've only been rewriting it for quite some time now.
I think what makes this game special, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the community. The people that, like Veetorp, who put a lot of time into coding this mess. People who create random sprites and MSU randomizers like Krebel. Just all this community effort definitely keeps the game living, I think.
Absolutely. No, it's all about the community. It's the only reason it's been going on for a little over 3 years, 4 years maybe now. It's just everyone is so awesome, and the ones that aren't, well, they're just not around anymore, and that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I like the way you put it.
Thank you guys for doing commentary on this and getting the restream together, because I know, we're not a huge crew here at GMP, but all the volunteers that step up, I do appreciate it, as being one of the hosts of the podcast, and I know Temp and Herf appreciate it as well. So thank you guys for helping put all this together.
Yeah, and of course a special shout out to -27, our tracker. Being a tracker myself, I understand that it is definitely not an easy as job as many would think, and of course thanks to you for stepping up and making the stream possible.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, thanks to the admins of this tournament, and of course, Daaanty, Temp, and Herf for hosting the podcast and make this whole thing happen, really.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm more than happy to try and step up as often as I can and restream live or even VOD stream to make sure that these races are seen by the community as a whole. That way we can all kind of see these, get them uploaded for later review, and people can kind of look for tricks or look for things that they may not be seeing because, they just don't see them.
Absolutely. And thank you to the runners and the mentors. You guys made this an amazing race. It was awesome to commentate for. It's really good times.
Definitely.
Yeah, big GGs to mm2nescartridge. This was fun. Would do again. Just no ice rod hunts, please.
And honestly, this seed could have gone the other way if Daaanty had fallen his gut and Malmo didn't snap him out of it.
It's okay. I've had my duds too as a mentor, like leading my mentee away from the ice rod in left side swamp that one time.
There's always upswings and downswings in competitive rando. I mean, it is rando after all. So
Rando gonna rando.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There'll be plenty more of that this week. Stay tuned.
Yeah, speaking of this week, so we had a race earlier today that was not broadcast. That was Don Venier versus Walther IV. If you missed that race and you were not in their streams while they were racing, be sure to check that out. We're going to be doing a VOD playback tomorrow morning. I'm going to be restreaming it. I'm probably going to be commentating it unless anyone else wants to get up early with me and commentate it with me. But otherwise, we're going to be here and just hanging out and vibing in the morning and watching that race.
Sounds like a good time.
All right. Do the runners or the mentors have any last words before we head off for the night?
Well, of course, GG to Daaanty. That was amazing race, and like you said, would do again.
yeah, GG's, and I'm looking forward to watching this back. And thank you again to the volunteers.
GG.
GG.
All right, and that's it, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into Go Mode Podcast. This is Cinaeth signing out.
Bye, guys.